In the Spyro the Dragon franchise, there have been several playable characters, from an Australian mountain kangaroo to a highly intelligent Yeti. There have also been playable dragons around Spyro's age, though there are only playable skins. But perhaps the most notable playable character in the Spyro series is Cynder the Dragon. Who is Cynder? What's so special about her? Why is she one of the most fan-favorite characters in the Spyro series? Allow me to summarize her origins and her alternate counterparts. Cynder. She is a character who originated from the Legend of Spyro series, a trilogy reboot in the Spyro franchise. She was introduced as a villainous black dragon who was a servant to the main story antagonist named Malefor. Her egg was stolen by Malefor's ape forces, and she was then corrupted into a weapon of destruction against all of dragonkind. After being defeated by Spyro, Cynder was returned to her normal form and fought on the side of good for the remainder of the series. Along the way, she eventually gained her own set of powers and helped Spyro save the world. In this continuity, Cynder's powers varied across all three Legend of Spyro games. While under Malefor's control, she possessed enough strength to defeat powerful elemental dragons, including the Guardians. Along with her power, she was able to use a dark variation of the fire element called Shadow Fire, which she lost after being returned to normal. Due to Malefor's corruption, she was later gifted with her own set of elemental powers that are uncommon among most other dragons. These dark elements are Poison, Fear, Wind, and Shadow. She was also given the element of Ether, which is the signature ability of the purple dragons of Legend. Though without her elemental abilities, Cynder was able to hold her own in battle using melee attacks, on both the ground and in the air. After being saved by Spyro, Cynder saw him as a friend, even though her recklessness and independence caused her to occasionally butt heads with him. By the end of the series, Cynder's friendship with Spyro grew to love, where, in The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, she admitted that she loves him. 3 years later, after the end of the Legend of Spyro series, Cynder was brought into the Skylanders franchise as a playable guest star alongside Spyro, rebooted and given a slightly different backstory, personality, and has similar abilities. In Skylanders, she is an undead violet-scaled dragon who is one of the Skylanders. Based on the backstory from her Legend of Spyro counterpart, Cynder was kidnapped as an egg, then raised and corrupted into a minion of Malefor, who is the undead Dragon King of the Underworld in the Skylanders continuity. She spread fear across the world of Skylands for years, until, like her Legend counterpart, she was defeated by Spyro and freed from Malefor's control. Cynder was given a second chance in spite of her dark past, and became a Skylander, a hero, to make amends for all the suffering she had caused. In the Skylanders franchise, Cynder was corrupted under the power of the undead element. As a result, she gained the power to turn into an intangible shadow and can dash past enemies while leaving behind ghostly allies. If her Shadow Dash is further upgraded, she can transform into a giant skull that explodes at the end of her shadow attacks. Cynder also has the ability to breathe lightning, and can call upon lightning bolts from the sky at will. In this continuity, Cynder is one of Spyro's oldest friends, and according to Spyro himself, she is one of the greatest Skylanders. Unlike their Legend counterparts, both Spyro and Cynder don't show any deeper feelings towards one another beyond their friendship. The latest counterpart of Cynder is her Skylanders Academy incarnation. In this series continuity, she is a princess born into a family of evil dragon overlords. She is the daughter of the evil Dragon King Malefor, who was grooming Cynder to become next in line to rule the cadaverous cliffs of the underworld alongside him. But Cynder had heard of the heroics of the Skylanders, Team Spyro in particular, and this inspired her to become a hero like them. Without Malefor's knowledge, Cynder went to Skylanders Academy to enroll in order to become a Skylander. With Spyro's help and encouragement, Cynder learned that she had the power to choose to be good, despite her evil heritage. To save Spyro, her friend and teacher, Cynder confronted Malefor and renounced her birthright as evil heir to the throne, abandoning her father in the process. Cynder afterwards passed her admissions test that was needed for her to be accepted into Skylander Academy. She is now a Skylander cadet, learning what it takes to become a hero she wants to be. Like her main Skylanders counterpart, Cynder can breathe undead-powered electricity and can turn into an intangible shadow. In the final season of Skylanders Academy, it is revealed that she has a psychic power that allows her to see the best route to anywhere in the Skylands, and she can set up psychic barriers to prevent others from finding her location. Cynder's relationship with Spyro in Academy is very similar to her counterpart from the main Skylander games. They see each other as friends, but with the addition of Spyro being set as Cynder's teacher, and Cynder being Spyro's student. That covers all known variations of Cynder the Dragon. So now the big question is, how would Cynder be implemented in a future Spyro game? And since the recent Spyro games are HD remasters of the original Spyro trilogy, how would Cynder fit into the Spyro Reignited universe? In both The Legend of Spyro and Skylanders, Cynder is considered by both development teams of Chrome Studios and Toys for Bob as Spyro's polar opposite. They were both raised in different environments. They are different in gender, original alignments, and each have a different approach to solving problems. While Spyro is a natural hero who is blessed with fortune for most of his life, Cynder comes from a more troubled origin and has had to prove her heroism the hard way. If she was to appear in a future game, Cynder would have to match the setting of the universe that Spyro game is in. She would have to have different abilities. Her design would have to be tweaked, her backstory, her personality, voice actor, movements, etc. Her relationship with Spyro would also have to be changed or made somewhat similar to one of her previous counterparts. A supposed cameo of Cynder was spotted in the credits concept art of the Spyro Reignited trilogy, drawn by Devon Katie Lee, in the form of a broken plate Spyro had been working on. I've seen a lot of fan designs for a Reignited Cynder, including ones from Floorthorn, Faith SDK, Ignite the Blaze, and even one that was designed by Spyro Reignited trilogy concept artist Nicholas Cole. I even designed my own Reignited Cynder. Each of them are unique, with their own origin stories, abilities, species name, and style. I've seen adult variations of a Reignited Cynder as well, including ones that show her as a Magic Crafter's Dragon, a Beastmaker Dragon, a Peacekeeper, Dreamweaver, and an Artisan's Dragon. Several of them even have their own insect companion and health meter, like a spider or a beetle. In my personal theory, I can see Cynder appearing in a future Spyro game or DLC, downloadable content, that doesn't affect the storyline of the Spyro Reignited trilogy. She could come from a world parallel to the Dragon Realms where she is the young dragon hero, or she could come from a region of the Dragon World Spyro has never gone to. In the parallel universe my friends and I have been brainstorming about my version of Reignited Cynder, she attempts to solve her problems peacefully, but if there is no other visible option, she'll fight her aggressors as a last resort. This idea goes along with Cynder's original concept as being Spyro's polar opposite. And I've been looking at The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for inspiration, with Hyrule having an alternate universe counterpart called Lorule. Whether or not Cynder appears in a future Spyro game ultimately falls to the decision of Spyro's IP holder, Activision. While fans of Cynder the Dragon would love to have her reintroduced into a game based on the original Spyro trilogy, other Spyro fans don't feel the same way, for reasons that include their dislike for anything from the Legend of Spyro trilogy, or they don't want Cynder's original character to be tarnished. But if enough fans show their appreciation and love for the character, perhaps there's a chance Cynder will return one day, reintroduced once again into the world of Spyro. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Shoutout goes to Floorthorn, Faith FDK, Ignite the Blaze, Hula Maya, Nicholas Cole, Artisan Dragon, Blaze the Fire Dragon, and BM Bryce for allowing me to use their fan Reignited Cynders for this video. Keep up the good work. Their respective art pieces are linked in the description below.